are reading from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita as it is, 17th chapter, slok number 11. So in this chapter, actually this chapter is the divisions of faith, and actually this chapter is kind of following the chapter 16. So here the faith is discussed actually in details. Now there's two kind of faiths. One is when a living entity is under the mode of material nature, and the faith when he is free from the modes of material nature. So basically Sattva, Raja, Tamo, these three gunas, three modes of material nature are actually someone is in bondage. So Krishna Prem is too far for him, but when bhakti is too far. But still, just to come out from the ignorance and understand that he himself is a living entity, and he is actually not part of this material nature, and then ultimately get that knowledge, and ultimately he understands that he is. So this kind of is related to, very much related to Gyan. Not very much, but once somebody is become mukta by getting Gyan, then his further journey to bhakti, actually pure bhakti, which is free from Gyan and karma. So we read this particular slok, then we discuss. मेरे साथ बोलिए, अफलाकांक्षिभिर्यज्ञो विधिदिष्टो य इह्यते यष्टव्यम् एवेति मनः समाधाय सात्विकः afalakankshivi, by those devoid of desire for results. Yajnaha, sacrifice. Vidhidishtaha, according to the direction of scripture. Yaha, which ijyate, is performed. Yastabhyam, must be performed. Eva, certainly. Iti, does. Manaha, mind. Samadhaya, fixing. Saha, it. Sattvikaha, in the mode of goodness. Of sacrifices, this sacrifice performed according to the directions of scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness. Please repeat this one. Of sacrifices, this sacrifice performed according to the directions of scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The general tendency is to offer sacrifice with some purpose in mind. But here it is stated that sacrifice should be performed without any such desire. It should be done as a matter of duty. Take, for example, the performance of rituals in temples or in churches. Generally, they are performed with the purpose of material benefit, but that is not in the mode of goodness. One should go to a temple or church as a matter of duty, offer respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and offer flowers and eatables without any purpose of obtaining material benefit. Everybody or everyone thinks that there is no use in going to the temple just to worship God. But worship for economic benefit is not recommended in the scriptural injunctions. One should go simply to offer respect to the deity. That will place one in the mode of goodness. It is the duty of every citizen, civilized man. It is the duty of every civilized man to obey the injunctions of the scriptures and offer respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Sakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasatya Deshatarine. Vanshakalpatarubhya kripa sindhuvye vasapatitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukhaṁ karoti vachalam pangum langhayate grim. Jat kripa tamaham vande Sri Gurum Deenataranam. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, actually these last 6 chapters, 13 to 18, are basically related to the Jnana Yoga. Actually, whatever to the highest level, the instructions are already given to Arjuna by Krishna within 12th chapter when he is saying. But still, there are some analytical knowledge is required for those who are not that much intelligent to directly understand those highest instructions. So these are kind of higher instructions. It's not the highest, but kind of higher instructions. It's very much related to Gyan, and the result is Mukti and Satta Samsuddhi, so that a living entity can come out from this Mahato Bhayat. Basically the fear. So because the living entity is a jiva, is conditioned with the 3 modes of material nature, so he is bewildered and he is getting tapatraya, 3 kinds of miseries: adhidaivik, adhibhautik, or adhyatmik. So the living entity, the jiva, is very much in bhai, trouble, because he is very much troubled by these miseries. He cannot avoid, because he is conditioned. First of all, he may not even know that he is conditioned by material nature. So that's why there is a chapter 14, it's said about the different gunas of material nature and what happens in different gunas. And basically, if someone comes to the sattva guna, he can understand, he can get some knowledge So, like that, in 15th chapter also, it is said that ultimately one have to understand that the cause of this material world, whatever is happening is actually Purushottama behind everything. That is the Paramatma. One have to understand. And then in 16th chapter it is said that there are different activities which are divine, and these divine activities leads the living entity to Satta Samsuddhi. He is purified existence, means existence with knowledge, that he knows who he is, what he is doing, in what condition he is, and what is supposed to be his activities. That's little higher. Even to understand what is the what should be the activity, what should be the duty of the living entity in higher sense, it's actually still one have to go higher. But at least this is a good level. That's why these are all jnana level basically. And jnana one can get when he is in sattva gun and in mode of goodness. So to reach mode of goodness, so nicely there is also sattva gun, there is rajagun, there is tamogun. Basically the fate are two divisions. One is nirguna, out of the gunas, that fate is nirguna fate, and the fate within gunas. And within gunas there are three different fates: fate in sattva guna, fate in rajoguna, and fate in tamoguna. Whatever fate in tamoguna is actually not called as fate, because it's almost like not having fate. And then there is tapasya. The austerity also is in different. Sattva guna, the austerity is different. Rajoguna, tamoguna. I think before this sloka, there is the Shraddha is discussed, and then Dan is discussed. Dan, because Danang, Damasya, Tapasya, what is that, all these are qualities. Daivi Sampa, Abhayam, Satta Samsuddhi, Jnana, Yoga, Vyavasthiti, Danang, Damasya, Swadhyaya, Kshantirarjavam. So all these are to do all these things. Dana, Tapasya, and all this. About Ahar, that's why Krishna will say about Ahar also. Ahar means the food also. So all these things actually contributes to Satta Samsuddhi. Satta Samsuddhi means one comes to the point of knowledge. Then he understands who he is. And then he can understand that he can understand more and more. And if he will get association of a pure devotee, then he will understand about Krishna, about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Before that, he will just understand that he is not this body, but he doesn't understand yet who he is actually in his eternal form, what he should be doing eternally. So that is not yet revealed. So that's Brahma platform. In self-realization, there are different levels. So in Jnana level, the self-realization is he just know that he is not this body. He is a spirit being, and he is kind of he understands he is a very fragmental spark of the Supreme Spirit. And those who are in misunderstanding, they think when he is just free from this material nature, he thinks he become the absolute Brahma. He thinks like that. He get merged in Brahma, and then he become Brahma. Brahma means he thinks that he doesn't have any independent identity. He just got merged into Brahma, and then there's nothing beyond that. So what happens? So this kind of actually process of self-realization is actually very weak, because it will not lead us to our real self-realization and a realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, realization of God, realization of His energies, and realization of our own position, and then relationship with that Supreme Personality, our relationship, and then our conditions. So all these things are not possible to understand with that simple understanding that just simply I am a spirit being, and then I am just now saguna, means within the guna, material nature, and material nature is actually Maya. This is illusion. So just remove this illusion, and then you become Brahma. And then there is nothing beyond that. So this is very weak. This is kind of a spiritual suicide. But so that's why this process of knowledge, analytical knowledge, this process is actually not very strong, although this is kind of a gauna. Gauna means secondary method of self-realization. Like karma. Karma even binds with fruitive results. So when somebody is engaged in karma, he may be following the Vedic rituals. He may be doing different yajna, just like this is also a yajna. It is said about yajna. But this yajna is doing by scriptural injunctions. So in Vedas, the yajnas are prescribed for those who are, in the samsara. So these yajnas are ultimately, the yajna bhokta is Lord Vishnu, but it is offered to different demigods, and to just to get different results, so that he can get better fruits to enjoy. So the purpose is actually to enjoy something. But here there is a higher kind of yajna which is mentioned in this sloka, is that without having any fruitive mentality. If some yajna is performed with vidhi, with scriptural injunctions, that is sattvika. That is in the mode of goodness. So yajna is must. Yajna is must. Yajna we have to do. Anybody is following scriptures, so he will do yajna. But now yajna should be according to the scriptures, and then also should follow why that yajna is performed, the purpose also. If the purpose is missing, then there also so many things will be missing. But when a living entity is not in knowledge, he is in lower platform, he is in rajasik, rajagun, so he will be definitely having calm. Even in sattva-guna also, he has calm. When someone get knowledge about Brahma, then he may come out from this calm, but he have not reached that the other side, where, because he, as a living entity, as a person, he will be having desires, but because that other part is not revealed yet, that he is a spirit personality, he is related with the Supreme Person, with some rasa, and then eternally he can be engaged in the loving service. That's how he can be eternally in bliss. So that part is not revealed. So he is within this side, within gunas. So he will be definitely having calm, even in sattva guna also. But something is like, this is kind of little bit nirguna. If one can reach to the nirguna platform by doing sacrifices according to the scriptures, at the same time not having any fruitive mentality. Then he can reach a nirgun platform. So in nirgun platform, his further self-realization becomes possible. So that's why to those who are in this material nature, for those this knowledge is being given. Of course, because these systems are there to do dan, yajna, tapa, all these things are there. Dana, yajna, tapas, prescriptions are there in the Shastra. So Krishna is giving some higher knowledge that also, of course, these are there. So there are different categories. So choose the best one and then do like that. So that's why he is given. Now we will discuss something about our good fortune to understand Bhagavad-Gita. Bhagavad-Gita is there it's basically in the land of Bharatvarsha. This Bhagavad-Gita, almost everyone knows the Bhagavad-Gita has that knowledge through which one can achieve the highest goal. But hardly we find that someone understand Bhagavad-Gita with its real meaning, with its highest meaning. Means because the knowledge is there, this confidential knowledge is there, the more confidential knowledge is there, and the most confidential knowledge is there. Three categories knowledge. The knowledge about the karma is a kind of confidential knowledge, because it is said, do karma, but it is yajna arthat karmano. Anyatra lokoyam yajna arthat karmano, anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So that we are not, so that we don't remain under the bondage of karma. So that's why yajnarthat, just to please the Yajna Purush, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should do karma. So that is a confidential knowledge. Otherwise, people are engaged in different activities, but he is just thinking about that he will enjoy the result. And by that, he is getting more and more bounded. And he is getting more and more lusty. He is supposed to be conquer the lust, his greatest enemy. But without having that knowledge that yajna, that karma, that activity should be performed just for yajna, so without knowing that he is just bound in karma. So yajna arthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana, that is confidential knowledge. And that's now higher knowledge is that somebody should be nirguna actually, because urdham gachanti sattastha, madhye tishtanti rajasa, or jaghanya gunavrittistha adho gachanti tamasa. So even if someone is in sattva-guna, rajoguna and tamaguna, and so they are, even they perform also different kind of prescribed activities from the Shastra. Ultimately, what they gain? They may gain that they can go to the sattva-stha, urdham gachanti, they go to the heavenly planets, mostly to the swarga loka, and someone is more higher, then he can go to jana loka, tapa loka, mahal loka, like that, even up to saitya loka. But what about getting out from this whole material world and get fixed in devotion and go to the spiritual world? So that's actually the highest confidential, that is the most confidential knowledge. But just to get out from the clutches of Maya and become free from that, and having the knowledge that I am not this actually body, I am a spirit being. That's how to understand that. That's a kind of more confidential knowledge. But most confidential knowledge is actually to know that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan. This is also knowledge. Jnanavan. Somebody got the highest knowledge actually after many, many lifetimes. So he understand that Vasudevam Sarvam Iti. Then when he understand that ultimately Vasudevam Sarvam Iti, then what he does? He prapadya, he takes shelter of Vasudeva. So just from the point of Saranagati actually, one's entry to bhakti actually starts. Before that, the living entity have to go through this process of Satta Samsuddhi. And this process is, by Satta Samsuddhi he become fearless. And how? Avayam Satta Samsuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. He have to be fixed in that knowledge. But what is that knowledge? That he is not this body, and like that. And then ultimately, like that. It's basically Brahma Gyan. But if somebody is, from there actually the higher journey can start, no? Because if somebody is a mukta, so he very easily get attracted to Lord's activities in mukta platform, because he is at least free from the desires of lusty desires and this and that. So this is because even he just meet a pure devotee, immediately he get attracted, because he can see the transcendental qualities. He hates the material lust and all these things, because he understands this is binding me. But when he see a pure devotee and see the transcendental qualities, he says, oh, this is something higher. So immediately he get attracted. He get attracted always with the transcendental qualities, the name, form, everything, with Lord's devotee or Lord's, because Atmarama, he become Atmarama by this knowledge, with his Satta Samsuddhi. So that's why, just to come to the point of Satta Samsuddhi, he should, as long as he is here in this material world, so just to purify himself, he should do the dana, stapa, yajna, his ahar should be purified. So all these processes are given. Krishna is analyzing that what is dhan in sattva guna, what is dhan in rajaguna, what is dhan in tamoguna, like that. Tapasya also, austerity also, in one different levels, different gunas. And now he is saying about yajna, and then so faith is different like this. So this is how, by understanding this, if someone will come to the point of knowledge, Satta Samsuddhi, so he will have nirguna faith. His faith not influenced by maya, not influenced by material nature, not influenced by kama. So that faith actually will lead him to getting the real knowledge. Bahunam janmanamante jnanamanmam prapadyante. So all this. So it is higher part. He goes to that higher part. Then he engages. Then after that there is different things you have to understand. Slowly he'll understand. He'll understand actually, first of all, Krishna he will understand. And understanding Krishna also, there is different levels. First of all, in the jnana level, he is understanding Krishna kind of he doesn't have a form, but he is not this, he's kind of he's the source of everything, and then there is no other Shakti. Just he is only there, and then there's nothing else. And even I am also within that, and then there is like no form of that. It's like that, some kind of oneness. So this is kind of a very, very, just like seeing a mountain from a very long distance. You can understand what is there. There's a little blue color. So it's like kind of the Gyan level is like that. After Satta Samsuddhi, this understanding of Krishna will be like that. There is, like that. Even I am also within that, like that. But the higher is, this is Brahmeti. Then Paramatmeti. It's like little higher understanding now. Actually, no. There is Shakti and there is Shaktiman. There is actually two. Lord, he has a form and he has his Shakti, And within that Shakti, he is manifesting different forms, different things. So this world, he is manifesting this world. So understanding that, understanding him with Shakti is, within this material world, is a kind of Paramatma Gyan. But understanding Bhagavan, understanding Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he has Swamsha and Vibhinnamsha. He expands himself with Swamsha and Vibhinnamsha. And he is the Shaktiman of all the Shaktis. Basically his Shakti is Swarup Shakti, and then that Swarup Shakti's shadow is kind of external energy. So all this, so much you can understand in details about Shakti. And we'll understand Shakti and Shaktiman, before we will understand he is only just one and everything is merged in that. But here we understand him as a person, the supreme person. He is the he is the enjoyer of everything. Within his will, even everything happens like that. And then there is Shakti. And then his Shakti is controlled by him completely. He is not controlled by his Shakti. So all these things, understanding him with Shakti. Then we will understand higher. What higher we will understand? See, these understandings are, I have to say, this is not that we can get simply by becoming puffed up, that I will just figure it out by reading my Shastra, my Bhagavad-Gita and my Bhagavatam, whatever. This is not possible. This is whatever the understandings revealed step by step. This is only by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya. Before Lord Chaitanya, it is not so easy to understand this much. Because Lord Krishna is coming in the form of Lord Chaitanya and he is making everything very easy. Otherwise it is very difficult to understand. Like this Bhagavad-Gita it's very difficult to understand. In my first reading, it's okay, but I was not realizing anything. Second reading also, some slokas I by-hearted now, and then I will be quoting, but this is also it's okay, but it's not a complete understanding, but some quoting some sloka, but understanding the real meaning actually, the whole system is not so easy. We have to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. This we must have to mention, otherwise, because Lord Chaitanya is summarizing everything, the whole Vedic knowledge in a very, very small formulas, and this is given. Just like in Shikshastakam, Lord Chaitanya has given. So within that Shikshastakam, there is 10 principles are there. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur very nicely analyzed all these 10 principles of all the Vedic scriptures. This is called Dasa Mula Tattva, 10 basic truths. Within that 10 basic truths, the whole knowledge is there, everything is there. So Lord Chaitanya is making all these things very easy, and the acharyas are explaining us so that we are slowly able to understand and penetrate the whole mysterious knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and ultimately able to understand or go to the level of understanding him as Brajendra Nandan, Krishna. Brajendra Nandan Krishna. And to understand him as Radhanath or Rasa Rasik or like Raseshwar, that's even still farther we have to advance. Very much we have to advance in spiritual life by doing more and more Satta Samsuddhi, ultimately purifying ourselves. And that's possible by doing service to the pure devotees. Because Krishna will give us this knowledge through pure devotees. That's why this process of devotional service is very nicely propagated through this Guru Parampara system. And anyone is following this, they are getting slowly, step by step, they are getting all this knowledge. And then there are so many big professors. They are withdrawing like 2 lakhs of salaries per month. but they don't know anything about Bhagavad-Gita. They will be giving lectures also. They are even known to be like big scholars, but they cannot understand Bhagavad-Gita and what to speak of further Bhagavatam, and then what to speak of understanding Lord Chaitanya, and then what. That's why it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, the yajna in the Nirguna platform is actually different. Chanting Krishna's name, and then about his form, describing about his form, remembering his form, having darshan of his form, and remembering his qualities, all beautiful transcendental qualities, and then so many associates, unlimited associates related with Krishna in unlimited relationships, but basically in 5 rasas, and then Krishna's unlimited pastimes. So all those are nirguna. These are not within the material nature. So that's why it's not possible to understand that somebody is within the material nature. So that's why Srimad Bhagavatam said that in this Kali Yuga especially, Krishna Varanam Tusha Krishnam Sanga Panga Astra Parsadam Yagyaihi Sankirtana Prayair Yayantihi Sumedhasaha. So this Sumedhasa word is given. Sumedhasa means he has Satta Samsuddhi. He is a purified person. He has Sumedhasa. So he can, from inside, he can understand from his intellect, because his intelligence is even purified. That's why he can understand from his intelligence. It's called Sumedha, that this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is actually Krishna, but he is in the bodily lusters of Radharani, and then the mood of Radharani. This is Krishna, and then he is coming, and then he is worshipped by the yajna. What kind of yajna? Sankirtana Praya yajna. So worshipping Lord Chaitanya by the Sankirtana yajna is the Nirguna yajna. So why, if somebody is in knowledge, is following Shastra, Bhagavad-Gita, he is hearing from some realized person, then he will not go for this kind of ritualistic yajna to do all this. I am going to do this yajna, that yajna, because this, that. He will do what? He will do Sankirtan yajna. But, that's why this, by the causeless mercy of Krishna, he appeared. Basically, he appeared. Lord Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya. There is 2 reasons actually. For himself, he wanted to release Radharani's love, being in the mood of a devotee. And then actually the secondary reason is actually also to give the living entities this highest level of love, bhakti. So bhakti is an independent process. It doesn't actually wait for karma and jnana. Not that we have to come to the sattva-gun, and then we have to have the brahma jnana, then we have to have the paramatma jnana, then we will be getting the prema bhakti. It's not like that. Bhakti is a independent process, but it needs the association of a pure devotee. But the problem is a conditioned living entity cannot understand or cannot see a pure devotee. This is the problem, because he is covered by his calm, his 3 modes of material nature. His perception is completely different. But someone he is doing Satta Samsuddhi, for him it is very easy. He immediately get association of a pure devotee. He get attracted. Because Atma Rama, because he become Atma Rama. No, he is not more interested with this calm. No, because of the lust, this and that. He is not very much interested with all those things. So he is very much free, and he is open to see something higher. He is open at least. But if somebody is doing the spiritual suicide, thinking himself that there is nothing beyond and I become the absolute truth now, then it's very difficult. Hare Krishna. So then it is very difficult because it's kind of merging with in the spiritual, with the Brahma. Then what do? You don't have your spiritual identity. Then with the spiritual, the absolute truth, you don't have any relationship. So there is no question of bhakti now. No question of relationship. No question of rasa. No question of. So if someone is not doing, because that's why she said that Mayavadi bhashya shunile hai sarvanash. Sarvanasha means this spiritual suicide. That somehow or other getting convinced by that, yes, I become now the absolute truth. And if someone before his sadhana to become liberated, Brahma Gyan even, if he what happens, he may think, oh, I am going to be the absolute truth. I am going to be Brahma. So it's very interesting, I will become that God. Maybe it is impersonal, whatever, but at least I will become God. So he will be doing all the soul. This is very dangerous actually. It's kind of a poison in the society. Better you become sinner, no problem. You become so very big sinful person. That's even much better than becoming, a Mayavadi. And associating with a Mayavadi is that much worse than associating with some sinful person even. Because it's a spiritual suicide, no? Well, then you have to come again and then you have to take birth and then like that. So Lord Chaitanya's mercy is actually the good fortune for us. And this whole Guru Parampara is actually our only shelter. Without the shelter of this Guru Parampara, we are actually nowhere. We are actually completely fortuneless. But we, under the shelter of this Guru Parampara, we are the most fortunate. Because the highest and highest level of knowledge, highest and highest level of relationship we can, highest and highest level of the absolute truth, knowing Krishna up to the level of, Gopijana Vallabha, we can get. And then relationship with Krishna up to the level of Madhurya Rasa. No, so many other rasa, so whoever is get attracted to different rasas, but up to the Madhurya rasa is available. The instructions, the knowledge, everything is available. And then the relationship and then the activities are available. So this is the only, our good fortune. That's why we understand Bhagavad-Gita somehow in this light of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya has, like Krishna is giving this knowledge to Arjuna, and we are reading that. But without referring the knowledge Lord Chaitanya has given as the teachings to Rupa Goswami, teachings to Sanatana Goswami, without that reference, even to understand this knowledge Krishna is giving to Arjuna is, for me, it's like impossible. I was not able to understand when I was trying that way. But when, slowly, so understanding something, when we are reading about and then hearing about how Lord Chaitanya is instructing Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya is instructing Rupa Goswami about the rasa, the bhakti, his teachings to the Sanatana Goswami is so important for us. Then we will understand everything. So that's why we should not be simply just get bewildered by one sloka. Sometimes we, in a Bhagavad-Gita, we may read one sloka and we may be going very much analytically doing these words, this word, that word is saying like this. This okay, but also the bhavartha, the purport is very important. The purport means it's relating to the whole knowledge. This particular sloka relating to the whole knowledge is so important. Otherwise, we may get sometimes stuck up with, okay, it is okay. So we are not very much interested then. Because it doesn't clarify everything. It doesn't clarify what is my duty. So now from this sloka we can understand that this sloka says that yajna should be performed without having any fruitive mentality, and also according to the vidhi, matlab according to the shastric injunctions. And then so then it is so it is actually purifies the mind also. So this is how this results in goodness, and then this goodness gives the knowledge, and this purifies sattva samsuddhi, and then it's ultimately give abhay from this material world. Then we are somewhat free from this, at least this is something good, no? Getting abhay from this material world also is a big thing. Otherwise we are very much. So we'll stop here, it's time, but we can discuss some any questions. The question should be related to this sloka and then this.
It's not the Indian answer.
Yes. Or maybe a little bit. Yeah, anyway.
This is related just like in the fruitive activities we are saying. This is yaga get to without fruitive activities. But generally we see we go and pray to the Lord for something, whatever requirement we have. We just go and pray to the Lord. What we are doing in front of the Lord. We just go and pray and ask something. That is fruitive activities. So the human nature that he wants fruits. Without fruits he cannot do anything. Just like we are serving here, we know that we are getting free stay, free food, free everything. So some fruitive activities are there always. So can we explain something more about that?
But what is the question? I already explained about that. The whole class was about that. Because of we are in 3 gunas. I don't know if you are hearing. Then this whole class is about that. Because we are in the 3 modes. Raja, Sattva, Tama, That's why everything is there. But we have to be nirguna. That's what I explained everything. Already explained.
Nirguna, but our habit and our human nature, that doesn't go. So how?
No, you have to do Sattva Samsuddhi. Sattva Samsuddhi, human nature will go. Nature means Sattva Gun, Raja Gun, Tama Gun. This is nature, Prakriti. And these are 3 modes. This will go when we do Sattva Samsuddhi. How is Sattva? When we come to Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, when we purify ourselves with this knowledge. So this is what I had to purify. And this whole process is purification. The process of knowledge is one kind of purification, but that's not even very strong. But what the process we are following, the Vaidhi Bhakti, that's much, much stronger. Just by a little fraction of that practice even makes someone very purified. And someone is not getting purified, is coming out from the lust and desires by practicing bhakti, then he's not practicing bhakti. He may not be even knowing what is bhakti. So just by being here, and that doesn't mean that by being here, what I'm doing, that's the main concern, right? By being here, by going in front of the Lord, so there are different people. Then different people go, and the different people's existence are different levels. Some are within the material nature, some are out of the material nature in the Brahma platform, some are in the Paramatma understanding platform, some are in the understanding of Bhagavan platform. So everyone's vision is different. You go to the altar, you see different devotees are having darshan of Lord differently. Some are very much attached to see Lord, how nicely today's Lord is in different mood, or he is something different going on in him. So because he is related to Lord, he knows who is Lord. He have love for the Lord. So that's a different thing. And somebody, he doesn't even know who is the Lord. He may be thinking this is just and then he understand, come and just pray, and then he will fulfill your desires and like that. So that's kind of, so whatever the different levels of Sattva Samsuddhi, different levels of understanding of the absolute truth will be there. So by being here, we are here in this, like in our society, Krishna consciousness society you mentioned. So there are so many devotees. Some are very neophyte, they are just simply coming, but everyone is getting purified. And then getting purified is actually the level is up to the level of prema bhakti, is purification is there. Prema, every day we sing, we should meditate in that the prema bhakti is aha hoite avidya vinasha jaite. When we will get the prema bhakti, then only the whole avidya will just, everything will, all the avidya will finish. Till then some avidya will be there. That's why prema bhakti is not there. So we have to see how far we are purifying ourselves and we are leading towards that prema. For that, like, it is obvious that it is not spontaneous to us, but we should do, Krishna said in the 12th chapter, so if you can engage your mind and intelligence in my service, that's best. By doing that, you are always with me, I am always with you. And if you cannot do that, what do? You practice. They said practice. Practice means you do the Vaidhi Bhakti, the Shastra said, for purification. Different purifications. By doing that, you will understand more, and then you will come to the Bhakti, means hearing. This practice, sadhana bhakti, starts with hearing and chanting, so we have to do. And then more and more desire to hear, and then more and more we get taste for hearing. We get more and more better association to hear. This is the result of hearing. We hear, we have the taste for hearing, then we get better and better association to hear better and to realize different things. So hearing is the So see, different devotees are even doing different levels of hearing, different levels of chanting. Not that everyone is chanting the holy name. Someone is chanting Nama Parada, someone is chanting Nama Bhas, and someone is chanting Suddha Harinam. And within Suddha Harinam also someone is chanting the Nam with Roop, with Gun, someone is chanting with Lila. Okay. So different levels are there. Not everyone is going to before the deities with fruitive mentality. Not everyone. Yeah, generally. That's why Prabhupada mentioned also. Generally it is the tendency of, because it is the, in Baddha Avastha. Prabhu want to ask something. Oh, you want to ask something?
Normally, for my benefit or for my preaching purpose, if no benefit, I cannot do. Yes, generally, practically speaking, if no talking about this process. If I say, for example, please Prabhu, preaching purpose, if anyone says, please chant Hare Krishna, then he will ask, what can I get? No, it is for Krishna's person, or for your people. It's not interested. How to convince him? No benefit.
Oh, for preaching. So our preaching is also according to our level of where I am. Where I am, if I can preach that much, right? But if I am chanting pure holy name, then I can preach pure holy name. If I am chanting Nama Parad, then I will preach Nama Parad. And if I am chanting Nama Bhash, then I can preach Nama Bhash.
Devotees can understand. Teaching to the non-devotees, you chant. What is the benefit?
Right. But you are giving that instruction, no? But what the name you are chanting, it depends on that. That's like for me, if I'm preaching to somebody chanting about holy name, right? But what is my level of chanting holy name? Is I'm chanting Namabhas, that my preaching will be also to the level of Namabhas, kind of. Because I will be preaching him that way and like that. Because the name and the Lord himself is not different, no?
I accept your point, but this way I lose some interest practically. Of course, philosophically it's okay. Practically, I lose some interest. What I am going to get? Why I have to chant? What I am going to get?
Yeah, you can say the Lord and His name is non-different, but it is even intellectually it's very difficult to understand. So a faithful person only can understand what. That's why before instructing him about holy name, if saying something about to induce him to chant holy name, you have to create some faith on him. Otherwise, you yourself will go down doing aparat to the holy name. It is said, instructing the holy, the glories of the holy name to the faithless person. Isn't that it?
How the preaching will take place?
No. By your preaching, you should create faith on that person. That is preaching. When he will be having faith, right? Otherwise, if you are that kind of a person to preach, by looking at you, by associating with you, he will get purified. He will get purified, and he will create faith. He is going to accept what you are saying. He's not going to oppose, and then you are going to follow even. So that's why just to preach, that's why it is said, Krishna Shakti Bina Nahe Tara Pravartan. It's not that's without having any qualification to preach, I can preach.
Like Dhruva Maharaj.
Huh? Yeah. Yes. That's why I said, you said Dhruva Maharaj?
Dhruva Maharaj, he needs some material benefit.
Yeah.
Because his mother, he want to favor from the father, is
Mm-hmm.
not getting. According to mother's advice, he prayed to Krishna. But the aim is to get some material benefit. Finally, he came to bhakti-yoga. So that interest, we need that interest.
Because he is person, not that everyone is like that.
We cannot hear from the
Person, yeah, person to person, there are different persons in the in the human society, and different people have different kind of faith. Sukriti wala. Someone is artha, someone is artharthi. Dhruva Maharaj was artharthi. Gajendra was artha, but he did nice prayers. Anyway, so Dhruva Maharaj, he did nice prayers after getting purified. So but there is tibra na bhakti yoga na Bhagavatam it is said. You may be artha, you may be artharthi, you may be whatever. Jigyasu, whatever. Bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, whatever. But if you do tibra bhakti yoga, that is recommended. Tibra bhakti yoga. But tibra bhakti yoga is not so easy. Hare Krishna.
What he is asking is how to bring a non-devotee to the devotee level, interest creation.
Yeah.
I think that should be given as Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi.
Right.
Has to get free.
Right.
That should be the benefit that we can take to the non-devotee.
Yeah, all these different knowledge things. We have to first of all see that person is interested with karma or with jnana. That also we should be able to little bit just preach. We have to be intelligent. The dull person cannot preach. Just simply just go and then he cannot preach simply something. He have to understand first of all where he is. He have to. So that's why I'm saying, if I'm preaching to someone, he have to understand that what is his interest, where is his sthiti. That's by talking with him, that's by having his one word or one question to you, you should understand where he is. He is in vikarma, where he is in gakarma, whether he is in jnana, or whether he already know Krishna, or whether he knows Krishna but he doesn't know properly. So according to his position, you have to add further. Then he will be immediately interested. Oh, I know this. Okay. This is further. Okay, I am interested to know this. Okay, please tell me something ahead. Okay, tell me. Then he become interested. But if he is asking about, is going to the market and then asking, give me some dal, and then and then person is giving you some chira, he will be just, what is this? So like that, Yeah, you can ask. Hare Krishna.
Actually, I have a question. Why you said talking about Hare Krishna mantra? In the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna said himself that I am the Om. He did not say the Om. He said in many verses that I am the Om. So,
Yeah, by chanting Om also you get the same benefit, but you have to understand what Om is in details, like in little more, no? Krishna himself is Om, and who is Krishna? Krishna is with his energy, and with his energy means his Swarup Shakti, Ladini Shakti. No, Swarup Shakti is three form, Sambit, no, Sandhini, Sambit, Ladini, and then Ladini Rupa Shakti is Radharani. So with Radharani you are chanting Krishna, Hare Krishna, right? And that in itself you're repeating, like kind of in a mode of prayer, kind of sambodhan, addressing to the Radharani and Krishna, Krishna and Krishna Shakti, to engage also you to attract, to them, and then engage in the spiritual platform, in some service. So this is how you are chanting, just to, addressing Krishna and then Radharani to attract you to the spiritual platform, and then engage in service. The same thing is with the Om also. Om is also the Radharani, O Umo, These three words. So this is also explained, Krishna, Radharani, and then the Jiva. So ultimately the same, but you may not be in that understanding, and then you have to get the mantra from a spiritual master. Not that you, by yourself, you pick up some mantra from here and there, right? This is what one of the discussion, that we have to get connected with a self-realized person who can actually enlighten us and can initiate us to the higher, path of bhakti. Bhakti is a path, it's a direct path of making relationship with Krishna. So somebody already have that relationship, he can also connect you. Otherwise, with this process of jnana, means no analytically understanding what is the ultimately the absolute truth, and so then we'll stuck up with the impersonal platform. It's like everything is, something in the oneness, everything is merged, and actually thinking some form means it's kind of illusion, it's kind of a transformation of that form into like kind of, Maya. This is not actually real existence. So that kind of a misunderstanding we generally get. Generally, that's why one should have a self-realized spiritual master, and he should give you the whole, first of all, the knowledge, who you are, who Lord Himself is, what is your relationship, why you are in this material world, in what condition, and what should be your goal, and just to reach that goal, what should be you doing. And in that regard, He will give you a process, and in that process, He may give you a mantra, He may give you to do something. So that's why getting the shelter of a spiritual master is the most important factor.
What one has discovered and what one is realizing. So while preaching, should one be only preaching about what one is realizing, or one can preach about whatever was preached in the scriptures? Like if one is not realizing whatever was written in the scripture, can they preach it? Because they are not actually realizing. Wouldn't it be lying to others if they have not actually realized it? Why?
No, we should preach. If we are not realized also, we should preach. Because this preaching is actually not exactly preaching, but it's called kirtan. Whatever I have heard from the Guru Parampara, whatever I have heard from the Shastra, so I'm repeating that. I'm trying to teach people. So this is it's called kirtan. By doing that, we ourselves get purified.
He might not have a full faith on that process either. Still, if he is preaching,
Still it is good.
it might be harmful to him.
No, it's not harmful. Any cause, it is not harmful. Why? By if he doesn't have strong faith also, what is preaching? By preaching, he will create strong faith, because now this time he is hearing from his own mouth.
But the person to whom he is preaching,
He will get some information at least.
they would see his behavior as well, his or her behavior as well. Whatever the behavior
Right.
So they will be, it would be affected by that as well. They will be saying that that person is not following, but is only preaching. So it will be harmful.
Yeah. That is actually not very effective. Yeah. But still, it is at least productive. At least productive for the person who is preaching. Other person is at least getting some information, so next time he may get better information. Like that. So ultimately, it is good only. It's not bad. ठीक है प्रभु जी ने. No more questions, no? It's time. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for all of your attentions. Hare Krishna. Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki. Jai ho Srila Prabhupada ki. Shri Krishna Balaram Lalita Visakha Radhishyam. Jai ho Shri Nitai Gauranga ki. Jai.